Hello and welcome to this week's weekly forecast video for week commencing the 1st of August 2022. I have the overview of the week laid out here in front of us. I've also got some crystals today. We've got smoky quartz, we've got clear quartz, and we've got ruby infusite that I was guided to pop on the screen for you there. So what we will do is we will begin with the overview of the week, then we will go day by day as we always do, and it will be time stamped so you can drop back in when you need to. Finally, we will finish with a spiritual guidance message for the week, so do make sure you stay tuned for that. So let's dive on in. So, looks like a very interesting week straight off the bat. It's a very spiritual week, I feel, as well. A very interesting one if you're trying to make changes in your life. There's a real energy of manifesting, of making positive changes here, but that you're actually able to move forwards now. It doesn't feel like you're being held back. It may be that there's divine timing at play, so things aren't going quite as quickly as you want them to. It could just be that it's not quite the moment yet, but the moment will be coming very soon. And as we know, these things always happen in divine timing. So everything is actually okay. It is actually on track. You are going in the right direction, even if you have a few challenges to overcome before you actually get to your goal. There is a reminder here. It's interesting because it's about receiving with the lady of the gift, and that's something that most of us struggle with. Most of us are pretty good at giving. You know, we all know how to give, we all know how to do that, but many of us, particularly those of us who are very intuitive or empathic, we may struggle with receiving, with allowing people to give us things, to give us help, to give us support, to give us gifts of money or time or items, you know, that we consider too much. We can only accept small things. That can be very difficult for us, and that's actually a very, very big part of manifesting, because if you're going to manifest something that you want, you need to be able to receive it. And that's, I think, one of the challenges for us to look at this week, is learning how to receive and remembering that it's okay for other people to do things for us. It's okay for other people to help us. It doesn't always have to be us helping the other person, because that does create an imbalance. So it's very much that imbalance of energy that we're looking at this week, learning about on a very deep spiritual level this week. But it has a huge potential this week. I think the things that we begin or that we work towards have real potential to come to fruition. So this is a good moment to be planning for the future, thinking about the future, whether you want a new relationship that's fulfilling, whether you want a new job that's enjoyable, brings you the money that you want, or a business, whether whether you want a family, whether you want to grow a garden. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's up to you. That's your dream. It's for you to choose the thing that you want. So very, very interesting energy, I want to say here. Lots of 2 energy going around here as well. We've got the 2 of fire and we've got the 22 here. And that 2 energy can really help us to see both sides of things. So if you've been struggling with a decision, I think it will be easier for you to see the other side. It will be easier for you to consider all aspects of the problem and to see things a lot more clearly now. But very much our spirit guides, and there's very angelic energy here this week as well, very much supporting us, bringing through the wisdom, the guidance that we need, nudging us to learn our lessons now so that we can move forwards in life. So let's take a look at the days of the week now. We're going to begin with Monday, of course. Monday the 1st of August. So our cards for Monday, we have number 1, optimism. We have number 13, the Swan Queen. And we have the 4 of air. Okay. So again, we're staying on a very optimistic energy here for Monday. You know, this is a week where we feel that we can change things. We're reminded that we can achieve things. We have power. We have agency in our lives. You have agency over your life. You have power. You are not stuck. Okay? If you feel that you're stuck, you're not stuck. Just remember that you're not stuck. You are the one that can make the decisions in your life. You're the only one that can make the changes. All right. If you're waiting for somebody else to make the changes, you're going to be waiting a long time potentially. So get on with it. A little bit of tough love, I think, possible on Monday, because the energy is, again, it's about transformation. It's about change with the Swan Queen on that 13 mystical 13-4, which brings transformation, brings change, brings endings and new beginnings. But there is a reminder here that when we want to make changes, we may start out very optimistic, but if they don't happen as quickly as we want them to, you know, we can get a little bit disheartened. It can be difficult when we're waiting for our dream to happen. You know, if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, for example, you know, it can take a very long time before you actually see the success that you want. And you just have to keep plugging away at it. There's a strong reminder here that we do need to be patient and just keep your eyes on the prize, keep going, hold that vision, try and hold on to some of that initial optimism and go back to it, revisit it when you need that feeling, when other people around you are saying, oh, you should give up, you're obviously not getting anywhere, this isn't working for you, why are you even bothering? You know, it doesn't have to be a YouTube channel, obviously that can be in any aspect of your life. People saying, oh, why are you bothering? It's just taking too long, it's obviously never going to happen. But these people are losers. And I mean that in a genuine sense, not in a, you know, I'm not trying to be mean to people, but people who say that generally are people who've never achieved anything big in their lives. Or they're people who've done things differently to you, and they don't understand that sometimes it does take time, faith, patience, effort, and keeping going to actually get where you want to go. So there is a reminder here from the universe that if things aren't moving forwards as quickly as you want them to, it could be that the universe is trying to give you a rest. Okay, it's not always the time to be in action. We can't keep going all the time. Sometimes we have to stop. Sometimes we have to rest. Sometimes we have to take a holiday, vacation. So there is a little reminder here that, you know, it's okay for everything not to be moving forwards as quickly as you might want it to all the time. You know, we can't keep going hell for leather the whole time. Sometimes we have to rest, kick back, take some time off. So it may be a day to think about booking a holiday, booking some time off, or even just finding some time on the day for yourself to rest, to contemplate, to meditate, you know, and to gather your energy back together again so that you can pick yourself up and keep going. So let's take a look at Tuesday's cards now. Tuesday we have number 6, fragmented energy. We have number 28, the Ice Queen. And we have the 8 of Air. Okay. This certainly not the best cards to see. You know, that this is a challenging energy for Tuesday. A challenging energy where we may feel like we don't have agency over our lives. And that is one of the big themes this week, learning that actually we do. And if we think we don't, very often it's because we've given our power away to somebody else. We've given that power to make a decision over our lives to somebody else who doesn't deserve it or definitely shouldn't have it. That should always be your decision. It should always be you that makes your decisions. You're an adult. You're a sovereign being. You know, it's not for a partner, for a boss, for a politician, for a, I don't know, a king, a queen to make these decisions about your life. It's your life at the end of the day. And you are entitled to make your decisions. You are entitled to be selfish when it comes to your life. So there's a very strong reminder coming through there on Tuesday. The energy feels fragmented, so you might feel a little bit away with the fairies, or you might feel distracted. It may be difficult to focus, I think, on Tuesday. You may feel stuck, as though you want somebody else to do it for you. You want someone else to make the decision, take the step for you. But that's really coming from a lack of confidence here on the 8 of Air. It's coming from fear. When we abdicate our responsibility for our own lives, we're coming from a place of not feeling worthy. We're coming from a place of being frightened of the world. And, you know, that there's a great fear of making mistakes there. But there's also a fear of success. Fear of failure and fear of success are basically two sides of the same coin. They're both fears that keep us procrastinating, that hold us back from our dreams, from our goals. And that may be something to look at. But there is a potential to find a way through here on that transformational 28-10-1. There is a way to do it, but we have to remember that we are the only ones. There's a little wise owl here who's trying to remind us, look, you're the only one that can get yourself out of this snowdrift, love. Don't just lie there, you know. So, yeah, remember who you are, please. Remember that you are a divine sovereign being, that you have power in your life. You are the only one who can make changes. Sometimes those changes may be tiny, may be very small, step by step, but you are the only one that can take those steps in your life. Someone can't carry you and take the steps for you. You're not a baby, you're an adult now. And again, this is part of this week's lesson about taking full responsibility for our lives. Even if you think you already take responsibility for your life, are there any aspects that you could go even further with that? Really take responsibility, really accept full responsibility for absolutely everything that happens, even if it's not technically your fault. Energetically, it relates to you anyway. So how can we really take that next step to take back full control, full agency in our lives? The lesson is there. The energy may be challenging. Some people may be stepping back from projects. Some people may literally give up on Tuesday. It could be a difficult day for some people, but hang on in there, lean into your spirituality, and just remember who the fuck you are. Okay, so let's take a look at Wednesday now. Wednesday's cards. We have number 2, family. We have number 31, the prison waif. And we have the 2 of water. Interesting cards for Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday's cards actually took me a moment to just tune in there to see where we're going with these, because the energy feels a little bit like a seesaw here between the 2 twos on either side. There's definitely a feeling of, again, not being completely empowered in your life, perhaps feeling a desire to hide, spend time at home and hide and pretend everything isn't really happening in the world. You know, I get it, I understand that. But there's also a desire here, I feel, to pull back from the world. And what I was saying about we need to grow up now, you know, spiritually speaking, I keep saying that in readings. There is a desire to be a child again for some people. It's almost like, oh, I want to get rid of all my responsibilities. I want to go back to the time when someone else made all the decisions for me. They were responsible for everything, and then I wouldn't have to worry and everything would be okay. But that's a very idealistic way of looking at things. Plus, you can't go back to being a child. That's impossible. And being a child isn't necessarily a happy time for everyone anyway, so you know, it's not always a good thing. It's very frustrating being a child, you know, learning how to be an adult. Basically, you are expected to learn and grow. You don't just get to stay stuck at like the age of 5 and stay there and have fun forever. That's not the point. And children want to grow up anyway, so it's a misinterpretation of memories, I think. But there's certainly this huge lack of confidence that comes in with the prison waif, and also a belief that the universe is against you. So for some reason, for some people, for some reason, that's the word that wanted to come through, so I'm going to say it. But for some people, I think there's a real sense of being left out, being unlucky. There's an unlucky feeling, which isn't true at all. You're not unlucky, you're just perceiving it. You may just be perceiving it that way today. But there is a possibility to actually move forwards, but there's a real desire to hold hands with someone else while we do it. There's a huge lack of confidence. There's a need for a big hug from your spirit guides, from your angels today. It could be quite a difficult emotional day for many people feeling reticent about the future, about moving forwards, feeling worried about the future. Again, there's that whole theme coming through. But again, the way through, as with all of the days this week, is going to be remembering that you have agency, remembering that, you know, you're not just here to work for the collective on that 31-4. You're not just here to do things for other people. You are here to do things for yourself as well. And yes, it's wonderful. We can work together with other people. And when you work together with somebody else, you're not necessarily working for somebody else. You can be working for yourself as well. And that's very important, especially for those of us who are very sensitive, who consider ourselves healers, empaths, psychics, or just people who are very generous and loving and kind of nature. And sometimes you can end up feeling that people take advantage of you, and it doesn't have to be that way, but the only person who can change that pattern is you. So we're going to take a look now at Thursday's cards. So Thursday we have number 1, courage. That's a nice start. Number 16, the Shadow Queen. Oh, these are quite mysterious. And the Ace of Air. Wow, coming in with 1 energy. I like this. Ace, of course, is number 1. Wow, new potential, new beginning. We may feel like we've turned a corner this week on Thursday. It may feel like, yeah, I've come to a decision. I know where I'm going now. But it is going to take courage to actually take those next steps in your life. It could be that an opportunity is presented to you on Thursday. This is quite interesting, but I think the opportunity will be one where you don't have all the facts. Maybe you can't see everything, because look, this person in armour is going into quite a dark forest, and yes, they're being led by these beautiful divine lights, but who knows what's in that dark forest? They can't actually see very far into it. I want to say perhaps they can't see the wood for the trees. But there is this kind of energy of insecurity that comes through as well, of not knowing what's going to happen, the fear that everything's going to change, the fear that everything's going to fall down around our ears if we go ahead with this new plan, this new project, this change. Could be leaving a relationship, leaving a difficult situation that isn't right for you anymore. So yes, I mean, the Ace of Air is all about new beginnings, but I think going in with your eyes wide open, even if you can't see very far ahead, and feeling I want to say confident that you know you're doing the right thing, even if you can't see all of the steps ahead of you. Sometimes it's okay to just know that it's the right thing to take the first step. You don't need to know all of the steps ahead of you. There's the analogy that you can drive 100 miles in the dark in your car, and all you can see is 20 yards ahead of you, because that's all your lights are illuminating. But that's adequate. That's all you need to see at any one time. You can see the bit of the road just in front of you. You can see enough of what's coming up to navigate that road safely. You don't have to be able to see the whole 100-mile stretch in order to actually complete that journey. And that's what I want to say to you for this day. So it is about new beginnings. It is about being a bit brave and actually taking your courage in both hands and saying, no, I do need to make this change. I do need to take this new beginning, take this opportunity, move forwards with this idea. I can't stay where I was before. I have to make this change now. So it's going to be very interesting. There will be lights along the way. There will be guidance from spirit guides, from it's like these lovely little lights here guiding the way. There is guidance coming through, lots of spiritual guidance. If you meditate or if you talk to your guides or angels, just look for the signs, because I think there is going to be a lot of help, a lot of encouragement to actually move forwards in our lives and let go of the things that we can't control. When you do make a change, for example, if you're leaving a job, leaving a relationship, trying to sell a house, I don't know, there are lots of what ifs. There are lots of aspects of those changes that we can't control. We can make the decision and we can move forwards, but we can't control what everyone else is going to do. And it can feel a little bit like your life is falling apart when other people start to react and act as well in those situations. And I want to just touch on the number 16/7 here. But I do want to say that's not a reason not to do it, just because it feels like the world may fall down around your ears. That's not a reason not to do it. If it feels right, be strong, be courageous, and take the step anyway. So we're going to take a look at Friday's cards now. Friday we have number 5, the Sacred Temple. Number 4, the Web Weaver. And another 16, Life Experience, Archangel Shamuel. Okay. Okay. Spiritual experience is going to be around on Friday for sure. There's a lot of spirituality going on here. There's messages coming through. There's synchronicity. We may start to notice signs around us trying to guide us, trying to move us in a specific direction. So if you've been putting off making a decision or making a change, or asking your guides, asking God, should I do this? Is this the right thing to do? I think you could get your confirmation on Friday. That could very well come through. Or it might even start without you. On that number 16, Life Experience, in a traditional tarot deck, that's the Tower, where things literally start to fall apart and you're not in control. So it's almost a kind of a message of piss or get off the pot. It's going to happen anyway. You might as well get on with it now. But there is a real sacredness to this, and I feel there's a real order as well to what's happening on Friday. So it will be very much blessings in disguise. And I think even on the face of it, it will be possible to see that, yes, this isn't exactly what I was planning to happen, but I can see how actually this is working in my favour in some way, because it's giving me a kick up the backside to actually get on and do X, Y, Z. So that's the energy, kind of spiritual kick is what I want to say for Friday. It is a good day to actually do self-healing. I'm particularly drawn to the metamorphic technique. That is one that can literally give your soul a bit of a kick, kick up the backside to get you going, just to get you moving forwards on your life's path, on your soul's path now, because it does feel very much like it's time to bring some of those ideas into reality now. It's time to bring some of those visions that you may have been having, or messages from your guides, or if you've had a reading, what you were told. It's time to implement now. Friday is an implementation day. So if you've been waiting to actually get going physically in some tangible sense with something, it would be the day to do it. Otherwise, the change may start to happen without you, and that could definitely be uncomfortable. But if something happens completely out of your control that you weren't expecting on Friday, again, there is this reminder that everything is in perfect and divine order, regardless of how things appear on Friday. And this could be to do with world events. This could be something kicking off on the world stage that we're not in control of, that may look a little bit frightening on the face of it. But I just want to say it's happening for the right reasons, and it is taking us actually in a very good direction. Even if it looks terrible to begin with, because it may well do. And it feels like a bit of a trial. Some of the things that could be happening will feel like a test, like a trial, but they will be helping us to achieve that connection with the higher mind, with the higher self. So lots of potential on Friday, but could definitely be a challenging day, so hang on in there. So we are going to look at Saturday's cards. Now I actually have 4 cards for Saturday because they wanted to come out. We have number 6, Deserving. We have the Eagle King, number 12. We have number 19, the Sun. We also have number 10, the Wheel. Okay. So, now it's interesting. When I picked the cards from this deck, which is the Angel Tarot by Bradley Valentine, these 2 came out, and I actually said to my guides, which one is it? Is it that one or that one? And they said both. So, both it is. Both is always an option. Okay. So, Saturday. Wow, I think it's a day where we can really achieve a lot. There's a very, very loving feeling coming through from the higher realms for Saturday as well. This beautiful number 6 energy coming through for the heart, reminding our heart that we deserve better, that we deserve more, that we deserve something maybe for some people. Some people think they literally deserve nothing, which is so, so sad. And of course you are deserving. There's a huge amount of angelic assistance. Look, the Eagle King coming through here. This is beautiful on that number 12, number of perfect governance, 12-3, which brings order to life. It brings routine, it brings some structure, but in very perfect spiritual ways. And it brings the possibility of creating new projects from that structure, of actually creating new things from having a way of doing it, which is very helpful, because if you don't have a system, it can be very difficult to move forwards. But a real, I want to say, spiritual system. So it could be a spiritual upgrade literally coming through into your consciousness that's going to help you to do things differently moving forwards, to heighten your intuition so that you can work with your guides when you have a decision to make, for example. It may not be for everyone, but that's certainly what comes to mind for me. Then moving on to these cards here. Again, this very sunny yellow energy with these beautiful sunflowers here. This is very positive energy. This is very nice energy to be in here. And it does bring the opportunity for change on number 10, the Wheel. Very transformational number here, 10-1. It's about the next step, the next phase, what needs to happen next. So that's very strongly the theme for this week. But this is a happy day. This is happy energy, positive energy, events reminding us just how deserving we are of things, events reminding us that we are one with God, we are one with the divine. There is no separation, there is no difference between us. Very beautiful, loving energy, lots of support from the higher realms. So it is a wonderful day just to enjoy that energy. You don't even necessarily have to do something. It feels almost like we're getting prepped, getting ready for something, getting ready for the next stage on our spiritual journey. So it does feel kind of like a culmination on Saturday. I want to say. It is a feeling day rather than a doing day, I think, where we can just sort of sit back and remember how beautiful we are, how connected we are, how deserving we are, how worthy we are. Worthiness is really key. And there is that lovely yellow energy of the solar plexus chakra. I think your solar plexus chakra might be quite happy on Saturday. And if it's not, then, find a way to help balance that chakra so it is more in balance so that you can move forwards. Because again, that's part of the divine order that the angels are trying to bring through for you here. We need to be ordered within ourselves so that we can actually move forwards. We need to have that balance within ourselves and our energy so that we can take the next step. So let's move on to Sunday now. It should be a nice day, Saturday. That'll be a fun one. Okay. Sunday, we have number 8, new supportive connections. We have number 23, the Dragon's Duel. And we have the 4 of water. Okay. So opportunity may come knocking on Sunday. There may be possibilities to actually have some help with your projects, things that you want to move forwards, things that you want to do. An opportunity may arise, and it may actually spark off a conflict within you. So it may be that, yes, this is what I wanted, but it's not the right time. I'm not sure if I should do it. I'm not sure if I'm good enough to do this. Oh, I might just give up and forget all about it. It's going to bring up a lot of insecurities as well with that 4 of water. But don't miss out on the opportunity when it comes knocking, because it won't be around forever. It is definitely coming in to help us. There's a very positive energy. I feel potentially somebody offering their help, offering their assistance, offering business help, offering just positive help for your life, to make the changes that you want, or even to just gently move you on to the next step, to give you the help in your life that you've been waiting for, looking for. I want to say on Sunday it is divinely guided so that you can let go of the fear of saying yes. Okay, it is very much divinely guided, this help, assistance, support, new friends, new romantic connections or possible romantic connections. They're coming in for the right reasons, on the right energy. So try to let go of any fears or self-judgment, which I think could be a strong theme coming up on Sunday. And just, just dip a toe in the water and see where it takes you, okay? You don't necessarily have to do all the things. Okay, you can just dip a toe in the water and go, just say yes to life, take the first step. Like I said, sometimes it's just about taking the first step. You don't need to know what all of the other steps are going to be, and you don't necessarily need to take all the other steps as well. You may take the first few and say, actually no, this isn't for me, but at least then you will know. You won't have ruled out the possibility before you even tried it. You won't have counted yourself out before you even tried it, because that can really give the wrong message to the universe. If they send you if you've been asking for something, asking for change, asking for a new beginning, and the universe sends you one and you completely reject it out of hand, well, that might be sending the wrong message to the universe, by saying, no, actually, I don't want that after all. So the universe goes, all right, okay then, I'll stop sending them. Bye. So you could trip yourself up there. So do use discernment. That's not to say that you should just accept any old Tom, Dick and Harry if it's not something you actually want to do, not something you're interested in. But just be open to the possibilities on Sunday, because it could be very, very interesting. And there is a possible person coming into your life or a connection that could really take you places, could take you a long way. So that's definitely exciting. Okay. So we're going to move on to the spiritual guidance for this week. And our cards are number 37, joy, and number 36, movement. Interesting that we've got consecutive numbers coming out together, because goodness knows how many times I shuffle these things before I pull the cards. But I actually want to say it's the joy of movement this week. It's the joy of change, learning about how change can actually be exciting and positive, and looking for the positives within change rather than thinking, oh no, not this again. I have to start again. I have to do a new thing. Oh no, not again. I've done this before. I'm so tired. And I'm actually moving this card with my hand without realising. It's like, no, we want to move. The energy wants to move this week. This is not a time to stay stuck. This is not a time to try and hold everything together and stop it from moving, stop it from ever changing. Because as we saw, we had 2 number 16 cards. We just can't do that. That's tower energy. We just can't hold it all together. It's going to change one way or another. But it can be really happy. It can be really positive for us. And if we can remember to find the joy within changes, look for the positives, look for the sunny side of life, this lovely sun carved into the stone there, which is reminding us, look for the sun, look for the joy, look for the happiness, because it is always there to be found. Even if things are a little bit difficult at the moment, that doesn't mean necessarily that it has to be awful, that you have to be grumpy, that you have to be miserable the whole time just because everything isn't going away. You're not a teenager. Well, you're probably not if you're watching this. You might be a teenager. That's okay. If you're a teenager, you're allowed to be a bit grumpy. But if you're an adult, then you know, don't just fall into those old emotional patterns of, oh, it's not going my way, therefore I'm going to bitch, I'm going to moan, I'm going to have a go at someone on Twitter, I'm going to take it out on people around me, I'm going to be obnoxious. There's really no need for that. So please try to refrain from that. Try to remember that change can be absolutely joyful if we accept it into our lives. You can't resist it. The change is going to happen anyway. You might as well have fun while you're doing it. So thank you very much for watching, if you watched to the end. If you're still here with me, I would like you to leave a comment saying, I enjoy movement. Put I enjoy movement on a comment for me. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave me a like, leave me a comment if there's something that you'd like to add, something else that you picked up from the cards that I didn't see. I would love to hear that. I love to hear your insight. That's always fantastic. And do remember, I am taking bookings again now. So if you go to my website, eagerwingsholistics.com, you can actually book a session with me. You can book yourself a reading and I will link to that below. And I will see you all again soon.